Hello all and welcome to another edition of the Spotter Stand. Coming at you this week from Sonoma, California, Infineon Raceway. We had a lot of races, only one at Infineon, but we usually go with the theme of wherever the Cup boys were this week. And this week that's Infineon. We got with us head of guest services, BSR Chevrolet Chase, also BSR Hot Rod, and Les Alexander in the booth with us. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Good.
Fine, Texan.
I would like to. Well, I'll save that for a little later when maybe we get a few more guys on here that are watching. Let's start out with some picks this week. Along with the picks, I've got a little interview here with Brian Boyles for you guys. First up, here's a pic of myself and Brian Boyles. Last week, he was able to stop by on his way home from down in the central part of Texas, not too far from me, but he had to go right by me, so we met. It's Burger King behind us, but we actually met at Whataburger. We ate Whataburger that afternoon, and Brian and I got to talk for a little while, and we did just a little interview spoof here to get on for you guys. I'll let you guys watch this right quick. All right, welcome to BSR Texan. We are here in Mesquite, Texas at Whataburger. And with us here is BSR Brian Boyles, the man behind the late night Boyles Trucking Series at BSR. Finally got to meet. Been talking over TeamSpeak for quite a while now. Finally had time when he's driving through to sit back and meet. We thought we'd do a quick little interview here. Maybe we can get this on the spotter stand. So, how things been going for you?
Been going good.
Going good?
Absolutely.
Okay. It's good to finally get to meet you.
It's great. I've talked to you all the time, but very few of us ever get to meet.
That's right. It's good when we can do that. We were just talking about how great the racing's been on Friday night at that dirt series, and how much we enjoy doing that. And Saturday night's been kind of stepping up a little bit. Y'all think about maybe doing something a little different next season on Saturday?
It just depends. We thrown a few things around, and the dirt series has been a lot of fun on Friday nights. We thought maybe possibly doing some more dirt on Saturday night, but it's just something we're kind of throwing around.
Right.
But as long as we keep our car count up on Saturday nights with the Speedway series, we'll just keep going the way it is.
Yeah, I enjoy both. I enjoy the dirt
Right.
and the speedway, and I think HB's done a pretty good job with the stage racing and trying to keep people interested in there. And I think if we either way, the car counts are going to be up. Everybody's going to enjoy the racing. We're going to have to keep this quick. I don't think I have much battery left. I probably don't have much room left on my phone. So just wanted to do a quick little interview here and give you guys a look at what we're doing here on a Monday afternoon in Mesquite, Texas. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
And there you have it. First ever live interview from the spotter stand with BSR Brian Boyles. And speaking of Brian Boyles, we've got a pic here of a plaque provided by Boyles Trucking. This went to the winners of the Season 34 Team Series along with the T-shirts. And this is from BSR Brain Fade, number 49 of the Ghost team. That's a pretty cool looking plaque, and I believe we'll see some pics of a few more of these because the other two guys, I'm sure, probably just received theirs, and they'll be posting their pics here pretty soon as well. We've also got a picture of Brain Fade holding his plaque there and wearing his number 49 BSR Brain Fade Ghost team shirt. Good of Brain to send that in to us. So we all get a good look at the plaque and the T-shirt. It's a lot of great prizes been handed out here recently. A lot of these guys I'm sure are glad to have those. I'd be wearing that T-shirt every chance I got. I'd be wearing it out. Got another pick here of Keith McLean, one of the most recent recipients of some of that great Drunken Cow jerky, holding up 3 bags of Reaper jerky there. That's the hottest flavor that they make over at Drunken Cow Jerky. And he won this on a drawing. We had a drawing after one of the races one night, and Keith McLean was the winner of the drawing and got his 3 bags of Drunken Cow jerky. Thanks for sending us the pick, Keith. Now on to racing. Sunday Nitro Series. Last week was at Bristol. And man, that was a heck of a race. There was a few
That
of
was
us.
a great. Yeah, that was a great race.
Yeah, it was. A few of us battling for the lead there at the end. A lot of green flag racing, and it was really close on fuel. I think I had the lead, but I was trying to save fuel. I was trying to save enough to make it. And Monty Keller, he was coming up on me, and as he was passing me, I was asking him if he had enough fuel, and he was looking like he had enough fuel. So I had to stay with Monty there if I wanted to have a chance at it, and I wasn't able to save enough fuel. Um, so I actually ran out with a lap and a half to go. Monty was able to save enough fuel to finish the race, but BSR Magoo, on the other hand, had saved his fuel early or didn't even need to save. And he was able to just run, his normal pace right to the end of that race. And BSR Magoo pulls off the win in the Sunday Nitro Series at Bristol.
Yes, a great win for Mr. Magoo. Monty Keller manages to hang on for second. Four Boy got third. Texan winds up fourth, and rounding out top five was Axel Foley.
That was a great race. We are going to be racing tonight in the Sunday Nitro Series. I believe that is at Richmond. Am I correct?
That's correct. Richmond night is tonight's race. Everybody that can attend, come on out, and we're glad to have you.
Yeah, practice will be up at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and qualifies usually around 9:05 Eastern, 8:05 Central Time. So come on out. It'll be the Aero 88 Series, Richmond night. Let's take a look at the points here in this series. It's only 2 races in so far, I believe. I believe this Richmond race will be the 3rd race. I'm currently in the lead there with Monty Keller with that second place finish, moved up 4 spots to tie for second place with Poor Boy, both of them down by 6. And you got Chevy in 4th, down by 11, and Axel Foley rounding out the top 5, down by 12. And there you are, Hot Roger, right there behind Axel in 6th, down by 13, and Aussie Bill's right there too, down by 14.
Yeah, 10-4. A lot of fun running on Sunday nights. I like the challenge of the limited tires. It definitely makes your pit stops a little more challenging.
Yeah, yes, it does, and at tracks like Bristol, especially, it really comes into play. And I suspect that it will again tonight at Richmond. That's another one of those tracks that tires, as you get midway through the run, times can drop off, and strategy can come in there with tires and how many you can take and when to take them and all of that. Now, we forgot to mention earlier, we're missing obviously BSR Pockets this evening, our flavor of the show. He's out with a toothache. Hadn't been feeling very well the last couple of days. Pockets, man, we hope that thing gets to feeling better. I know how toothaches are. They're terrible. So, yeah, hopefully that thing will get to feeling better for you pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm sure that all of us are kind of familiar with a toothache. We've all had one somewhere along the line, and yep, they're no picnic. That's for sure.
No, sir. Trying to sleep is the worst thing, man. Trying to get any kind of sleep when
Yes.
you've got one of those. Oh, it's terrible. Well, on to Wednesday night in the truck series. The trucks ran at Gateway this week. Gateway, we actually had a pretty good race. It was a lot of fun. Good run on Wednesday night. And Keith McLean brings home another win in the truck series in a 28 car at Gateway.
Yeah, he kind of dominated that race. Texan got second. Chevy Chase got third. Mr. Looney gets fourth, and rounding out the top five is a brain fade.
Now this series, a shorter. The trucks don't run near as many races as the Cup or the Xfinity, so with the season being shorter, there's only one segment in the Truck Series before the Chase, um, and we're getting close to the end of that. I believe there's only 5 or 6 more races in this Truck Series. Three,
Three
really?
more. Yep, and then the chase starts. Yeah, we have Chicagoland, which is next week, and then we're off for a week. For the 4th of July, we're off, and then the following week we come back and go to Kentucky, and then the week after that is the last race of the regular season, which is Eldora. That's the one I'm looking forward to
We're
right
gonna
there.
finish it up on the dirt and the trucks.
Yes, sir, but yes, sir.
Look,
Hoping I can get one of them valuable bonus points at Eldora.
yeah, they are very valuable. Let's take a look here at the points in this series with just 3 races to go to end up the first or the segment before the Truck Chase. I currently hold the lead with Brain Fade in second, down by 39. Chevy in third, down by 42. Poor Boy in fourth, down by 46. And Pockets rounding out the top five, down by, what is that, 59? Yep.
Yeah, 59.
And sitting just outside of that top five, we've got a few drivers that are pretty close there. Keith McLean with down by 64, and there you are, Hot Rod, down by 67. So 3
Yep,
races to go for those top 5 segment bonus points. There's a few other drivers that still have a chance to make it in there.
yeah, I'm trying to sneak up there and take it away from Pockets. Trying.
And you know he's watching that. He's seeing that. So,
I
he's been,
abs. He knows. He knows. Yep.
and he knows how that Eldora race is going to go too. So he's got to do everything he can in these next 2 races here to try to stay up in front of you. Oh, Keith McLean, I mean, that he's no slouch. That he didn't make a lot of races, I don't think, in the beginning of the season, but yeah, I think that's put him up to 4 wins in this series. So he's going to be a
Yeah.
tough one to deal with as well if he makes the rest of these 3 races.
Yep. That's the only thing we can hope for with Keith is that he's at least 8 beers down when he comes in, and then the last 2 during the race, and then he'll pretty much takes care of that.
you know, he I don't know about that because he was supposedly about that right, pretty close to that last week, and still managed to pull off the win. So great job, Keith. Congratulations. Um, Move on to Thursday night at Infineon. This was a pretty good race. We had a couple of cautions, but a matter of fact, I think I caused at least one of them, maybe 2. It was still a pretty good race, and Steve Looney was the fastest here, able to bring home the victory at Infineon and grab himself another bonus point toward the chase, and that moved him up, I believe, in the bonus points to tie for the lead. I believe with 18. We'll see those here later after we wrap up the week.
That's Steve Looney took the win. Rick Craddock got second. Monty Keller got third, or Terry Scott got third. Monty Keller got fourth, and Chevy Chase rounded out the top five.
Now, how many races
There's
into this segment are we now? Is it 3? Are we just 3 races into this one or 4?
three races in, and
So,
there's something that I didn't notice. I probably shouldn't say anything, but there was a tie for the most laps led again. That somebody told me doesn't very rarely happen.
really, again.
Again,
And who was
that's
the tie?
that's you and Steve Looney.
Well, tie goes to the winner because Steve Looney brought
Yes,
home the win.
yes, that is correct.
Let's take a look at the points here. With just 3 races in so far. Chevy Chase right up there on the top with Rick Craddock 1 point back in second place. Steve Looney in third, down by 9. Terry Scott in fourth, down by 13. And Brain Fade in fifth, down by 15.
Yes, and probably next week, Killa, we're gonna have an overall um, points leader. Are gonna combine the first segment and second segment. Hoping to get that finished up this week, so we'll have that for next week. That we can apply for both the Xfinity and the Cup series.
Yeah, we're going to have another separate little points gathering going on that combines the first and second segment in both of these series, the Cup Series and the Xfinity, to bring another top five. To for the guys who have showed up to every race and in both segments have been there and able to make the top five uh, for that entire racing season. Those guys will get a few more bonus points as well. So once those are up, and they probably will be by next week, we'll be able to show you those standings as well as we go along, finishing up this second segment in these series.
Standings, Killa.
Yeah, let's take a look at Friday night. There was no Xfinity race this week, so we were off in the early part of Friday night. We do have one next week. I believe all three series next week are at Chicagoland, are they not?
Yes, I believe that is correct. All three series are at Chicagoland
So we'll be at
next week.
Chicagoland in the trucks, the Cup, and the Xfinity next week. And we did have a dirt race on Friday night, the Boyles Trucking Late Night Dirt Series. And this week, bringing home the victory, it's BSR Hot Rod in that brand new Mustang, number 65 teriyaki flavored Drunken Cow jerky machine.
We call that the Dirt Stang.
Yeah, that's a good looking car.
Yeah, do you notice what it says there on the front?
Dr. Larry Yeager, the foot doctor.
Yeah, that's all because of pockets calling me the doctor.
We got a top five in that race.
Yep, I was just getting ready to hit it. I won. Eli got second with a good run. HB had a little bit of trouble early, and he made a good rebound. Mr. Magoo in fourth, and rounding out top five was Mr. Brian Wills himself.
And do you recall who won the heat races?
Eli won one. Not sure who won the other one. I think it was HB maybe.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. I see Momo over there in the chat. So he's got something for you at Eldora, Larry.
Yeah, he got lucky last year. He ain't gonna get lucky 2 years in a row. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying no more.
Well, let's take a look here at the points in the Friday night dirt series. I believe we're only two races in. Um, Rick Johnson and Hot Rod both have got a win in this series. Eli, not a win yet, but he finished second place
Two
in both of
seconds.
those races
Yeah,
and also received some heat race bonus points, I believe. So Eli currently holding the lead in the Friday night series with Magoo in second place down by 12, Hot Rod in third down by 13, Brain Fade in fourth down by 20, and Chevy rounding out the top five down by 26. Actually, Pockets and Chevy are tied for fifth, down by 26.
you know what's really funny about that, and I went and I looked. Last season I was down further in the points at this time last season than I am this season. Just throwing that out there so you know.
Well, that victory definitely helped you out a little bit. I know
I
you had a
I,
not such a decent race last week,
I
and that victory helped you out for sure. You moved up 6 spots there, if you can see.
yes, the season before I finished in 14th and came back and won the second race, so I was still down by more points last season than this season. One more thing, means we're in the dirt here, Killa. Uh, to all the viewers, I don't know if you know, uh, we had a real life sprint car driver die last night. As a matter of fact, Jason Johnson um, died at Beaver Dam Raceway last night. Just like to do condolences to his family. Anybody that knows him about sprint car racing may know him. So just like to throw that out there while we're in the dirt segment.
Yeah. Thanks for throwing that out. Definitely, like you said, our prayers go out to his family, and we had to hear of any fellow driver racer, um, you know, passing away. Let's uh, let's go and move over to the Saturday team series. And now that we've got to this point here, we've got a few viewers on watching. I would like to start this off with a couple of apologies here. First off, I'd like to apologize to BSR Poor Boy. Um, I know he felt bad for what happened in the race the other night, and the way I left without really saying much probably didn't really send a very good message. And the incident that happened between Poor Boy and I, if anything, uh, it was more my fault than his. I believe. Poor Boy didn't do anything wrong. He was just trying to protect his position. And really, if you look at it, you can go back on my stream from the Saturday Night Team Series the other day. You can see exactly what happened. I made a pretty weak move, really, to the inside. And he had me easily blocked. So I tried to go back up high, and really, Poor Boy still had position. He was in front of me, and I just wasn't. I didn't really check up, and what happened. And like I said, I'd like to apologize, Poor Boy. That was more my fault than yours. You didn't do anything wrong at all. And I'd also like to throw one out to Rick Johnson. Rick, you were in here earlier in TeamSpeak, and you were offering your opinion on it. You were absolutely right. I think I got a little defensive. I apologize for that. You were absolutely right there. I could have made a better move there. I should have waited until the corner to try to make that move. And so if you're going to race like that, in the lead, less than 10 to go, there's nothing wrong with blocking. Blocking is part of racing. And, if you're going to make a move, you got to make a move. You got to be there. You got to know you're going to have it. And I didn't. Like I said, I made a weak ass move. And when I tried to go back to the top to get to the outside, I never had position. I'm just glad I didn't take anybody else out in that incident. So, like I said, I just want to get those out there. Sorry, Poor Boy. And Rick Johnson, like I said, I apologize for getting defensive in here with you in TeamSpeak this afternoon. Like I said, you're absolutely right. So now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at this week. After that incident, I believe there was a caution for a blown motor at the very end of the race. Um, and the race finished under caution, but when it came out, it was raced back to the line. And my teammate, BSR Chevy Chase, brought home the victory for the Beer Bacon team in the Saturday Night Team Series.
That's right. Chevy wins for Beer Bacon. Rick Johnson subbing for Ghost got second. I pushed Rick to second, finished third. Poor Boy ends up finishing fourth. Brain Fade for Reaper finished in fifth. And then I think it was 50-50 finishes seventh for Teriyaki.
Yeah, let me do a shout out. The team worked well last night together. We were all on a little whisper channel together, and I wanted to throw a shout out to Tim Scarborough, DSR Scar, because he really, even though he fell to the back a little bit in the last couple of laps, he really did manipulate the lines good enough to keep me in front, and I appreciate that. That's part of teamwork. It's as much Texans win and Scars win as mine, because that's the way we play.
That's right. It's all about the teamwork. All about the teamwork. Unfortunately, I didn't have much of a team at the end there, and had to kind of do what I did. For this guy behind was the Ghost team, and Ricky Johnson was there, so I had to get with him and help him.
Yeah, you pulled up a third place, I believe, didn't you, Larry?
Yeah, from a lap down. Imagine that. That was pretty good.
Yeah, and the Ghost team has been a little bit short of drivers recently. Bama's been sick and not able to make it. And Les, I believe you've got some real racing tickets or something you've been doing on Saturday nights.
Yeah, we got some season passes given to us, so we've been taking advantage of that and going Saturday night racing.
I can't blame you for that. But we have been adding drivers to the Ghost team when we get drivers that come in, which we do every week that aren't on a team. We'll sub them for the Ghost team, and Rick Johnson subbed in for the Ghost team and pulled off a second place finish. Now they were 30 some odd points back from the lead. They're still in last place if we look at the points here, but now they're only down by 29. So that second place definitely helped out the Ghost team a little bit. You can see how much tighter the points are now. Beer Bacon with the win moves to the lead. Teriyaki only down by 1 point in second place. The Hot Team down by 9 in third. Reaper in fourth down by 14. You got Original back by 16. That is 3 races in, is it not?
That is correct.
So 7 races to go in this series. A lot of racing left to do. Ghost is definitely not out of it, especially if Rick Johnson keeps showing up and getting sub for that team. He's a good super speedway racer. I'm sure he'll get some good finishes for him. So none of these teams are really out of it. And that Hot Team, man, those guys, they work together good. All 3 of those drivers were up toward the front of the race, running, in the same line anytime they could, and it seemed like they had no problem getting toward the front when they wanted to. So 9 points back, I don't think they're going to have a hard time getting a victory or two at all in this series.
No, I would suspect not. And I'd like to throw a shout out to Brain Fade for the help that he gave me last night in the team race. I truly appreciated it. But he was, I kind of helped him the week before, so he helped me this week. So we're kind of even now.
Yeah, that's teamwork from 2 different teams. That's pretty cool.
And I'd like to throw a shout out to Rick Johnson for the sub work, and I hope he continues to do it since I probably won't be there most nights.
Yes, 10-4. Less thanks.
Yeah, we'll get somebody in there on that team probably, every week. Steven is been still showing up, so Steven's in there. And, there's always a stray driver that's willing to run for a team if they need it.
Yeah, we could actually throw wings in there if we needed
Yeah,
to.
and a shout out to Rick Johnson. I suggested that he go and grab a ghost car so we could get that ghost car on the track, and he gladly did that. And we really appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, I believe he ran your car less, so.
Yeah, he did. But that's like I
Yes.
said, I really appreciate that. And like I said, I hope he does a good job because most nights I'm not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind on that, but we figured it'd be okay.
Absolutely not. I think it's cool.
Now, in the Boyles Trucking Late Night Speedway Series, was rain out this week. I believe that was Richmond, the track we're going to be running tonight, and Nitro, I believe, same track. Larry, is that race going to be pushed to the end of the schedule?
Yes, we'll have some scheduling changes that we will post in next week's spotter stand. I kind of know what they're going to be, but we'll hold off till next week for the actual changes. And they will run this week. It will be. I gotta check real quick here. This week's race will be at Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
This coming week, yes, we'll be in Indianapolis. And then the March 7th, we will be off. The 14th, we will run Michigan. And then the 28th, we will run the Richmond race. So that'll be July 28th. They'll end the season at Richmond.
Well, let's take a look at the bonus points here this week in the truck series. Of course, we had Keith McLean took the win, moved him up to 4. If you look over there in the totals column, that puts him 1 point off the lead. Currently, Poor Boy and myself tied up there with 5. Keith McLean in there with 4. Chevy in there with 3. Quite a few other guys in there with 1. Now that in the truck series, you notice the points and how long the list was of names on there. When we get to the end of this segment, everybody who's on that list will be on this total bonus points list. And it'll just depend on how many races you've made in order, to how many bonus points you get. How many races total in that series? Hot Rod, do you know? Is it 13?
Which series?
The truck segment
Yes,
before the chase?
13
13 races?
13 races, yep. That's
So,
what the total amount of races is, 13.
right. I believe the minimum was somewhere around 8,
Same as the Cup. I thought it was
9,
yeah, I
and
thought it was
7.
9 for non-members and 7 for members.
Yeah, that's
That's what I
right.
thought, but I could be wrong.
So basically, if you make that allotted amount, either 7 or 9 races, you will get the full 13 bonus points as though you made every race. If you only made 6 races, then you'll still get 6 bonus points for those races that you showed up to. So once we get to the end of this chase, this total bonus points column in this series will pretty much be filled up there, and everybody will be eligible for the chase once we get there. Now in the Xfinity series, there's no change here. No race last week. This is going to be exactly the same as they were last week. On to the Cup. In the Cup Series, Steve Looney brings home another victory, moving him up to two victories. He also has a win there in the All-Star race, which gave him 3 bonus points. And Steve Looney has now moved up to tie for the lead with 18 over there in the totals column. You got myself and Steve with 18, and then Chevy, the lone driver, there in second with 17. Axel Foley and Momo still tied for third with 16 in the Cup Series, and 7 races to go, or no, 10 races to go before the chase. Well, we really missed our flavor BSR Pockets this afternoon. Pockets adds a lot to the show. I'm used to just kind of leading things along, and Pockets just kind of takes over, and he brings all the flavor to the show.
Yeah, he just fills us in.
Yeah, he sure does. We definitely missed you, Pockets, man. I hope that tooth gets to feeling better. Again, I'd like to, if you guys are watching out there, apologies to Rick Johnson and to BSR Poor Boy. And, like I said, that's just a racing deal, and it was more my fault than anybody else's. We would like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Drunken Cow Jerky, of course, and Brian Voiles at Voiles Trucking, and Kathy Voiles. Also, Real Tech LLC, Rick Craddock, BSR Scar at WLS Graphics, does all the renders that you guys see here on the spotter stand. RJ Rusty and the Medicine Chest Pharmacy, and Hello Sunshine Hello, BSR Tyler and Rhoda. We appreciate everything all you guys do for us. We're able to give out some great prizes at a lot of these races and for a lot of these series, thanks to all these great sponsors that we have, and all the great drivers that we have here at BSR. So really great racing. I have a lot of fun racing here every night, every week, and a lot of other drivers do as well. So we appreciate all of our sponsors and all the great drivers here at BSR. And
Yep.
I'd like to thank you guys for showing up here and being a part of the show, Larry. You're a big help, man. You help me out every week, and I really appreciate it. And if any of you guys out there would like to, if anybody's currently not a member, interested in becoming a member or racing at BSR, you can contact BSR Chevy Chase Guest Services on Facebook, the Bomb Squad Racing page. Is that where it is, Chevy?
Yes.
And just look up Bomb Squad Racing on Facebook and Guest Services, and Chevy Chase will get with you and tell you exactly what you need to do to become a part of this great racing.
Or search Mark BSR Chevy Chase, and my real name is on my timeline, so it's not a fake name. Anyway, and I'll get back with you.
And just throwing one thing out there. Uh, as Pockets always says, great racers make great racing, and the apologies on both sides of the Saturday night incident or one of the reasons why we have great racing and great drivers.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know Roger felt bad, and I I probably made him feel worse by just tearing off out of there, and I really shouldn't have done that. Like I said, that was probably more my fault than yours, Roger. It was a great race, and yeah, like I said, we have a great group here, and even when everybody has accidents, they're going to happen on the track. We're able to just work through them, and it is what it is. We're going to go racing again tonight, and there's no hard feelings. Well, we're going to roll on out of here unless any of you guys have got anything else you'd like to add.
I think we covered as much as we can cover without our great labor man.
Yeah. Now, some of you guys, if you weren't here in the beginning, I did run an interview with BSR Brian Boyles right at the beginning when we were going through the picks and whatnot. So you guys can go back and watch that anytime if you want. Meanwhile,
Yes, that was a great interview. I thought.
yeah, I had to keep it kind of quick, because I know I didn't want it to run too long. And like I said, my battery was running low on my phone anyway. But yeah, I'm glad Brian was able to get by and I was able to sit down and have a Whataburger with him. And it's always good when we can meet our fellow drivers. I've only been fortunate enough to meet a few. I've met BSR Magoo several times, and I've met BSR SR5 once as well. And that's been it so far.
It's always great when you can meet your fellow drivers in person.
User disconnected from your channel.
Well, all right, we're going to roll out of here for this week, and we'll be back next week for all the great racing action that happened at Chicagoland. We'll keep you guys updated on the points, bonus points, and all the upcoming races here at Bomb Squad. We'll see you next week.
Yep. See you later.